Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Robots Don't Age. With me here today is my co-host Keyauni,
Hello, everybody.
and of course, fan, friend, and my partner CJay.
Hi. That's all you get out of me. Hi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna add air horns, but I guess you can just go fuck yourself. Anyways.
Meow, meow, meow.
All right, and the topic of today's episode is going to be the T1000. But of course, before we do that, the same as usual, what have you guys been up to, Keyauni?
Well, I have been working on your website, as you know. That's coming along swimmingly. I also have been doing this thing on TikTok. It's called a vibe check, and it's where I have been taking orders to paint people their own little tiny personal, like, cosmic beings based on the vibes that their Instagram and or TikTok give off. And it's actually been popping. I've been getting about an order a day, so that's pretty fucking dope.
If I pay an extra $15, can I convince you to take acid while you make mine?
If you buy the acid, I'm in.
That is tricky with the way shipping works, but I'll see if I can find a way around that.
Postage stamp.
How's about super glue and spray paint?
I don't know if I'm up for huffing.
There's some money in the budget for that. I can swing that.
I can swing the glue. It's like $3.
No, that's cool though. And that's TikTok. Your TikTok's Abundant Studio, right? That's your handle.
Yeah, at Abundant Studio. I've kept everything the same, so basically any fucking platform you get on, it's all at Abundant Studio.
That sounds really cool though. Anything else you've been up to, project wise?
I have a couple more things, but I think I'm gonna save that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I see. Yeah, keeping it on your sleeve for the episode that we're absolutely not going to record immediately following this one because we wouldn't do that.
No, we would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the sign of hacks and frauds. CJay, what are you doing?
Well, I've been dealing with some medical things, but outside of that, I've been playing a lot of Phasmophobia and just kind of, perfecting my little CGI skills here and there for our little project.
I cannot wait to actually have something there to announce and to ask our friend Bone King over at Fan Freaks if he'd be willing to do the voiceover for that as well. It's going to be exciting.
Oh, I agree. It's going to be a nice little showpiece. It's been a while since we got to show off what we can do with the camera, like outside of the usual dick and weed and fart jokes, which we know and love well. But
an actual more high quality attempt at a serious dramatic piece as opposed to our comedic skits, which you can find at Who Asked for This.
Exactly. Other than that, though, I've just been playing Phasmophobia. I know I'm a little late to that train, but it's some great stuff, son.
Let's see. If there's nothing else, I can give what I've been up to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so gaming-wise, I have been playing some of the Resident Evil games. Code Veronica X has been kicking my ass, so I'm at the halfway point, and I'm kind of hesitant, because I got a lot farther, but I decided to start back at the halfway point when you start playing as, spoiler alert, Chris Redfield, and I don't know if I have it in me to go back and face all those hunters again, man.
Knife only.
Against the hunters, yeah, that would be a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
But because I wanted an easier Resident Evil game to beat, I've been playing the remake of Resident Evil 3 for the past day and a half, and that's been a lot of fun.
Oh, what do you think of it?
I mean, I've played it before, but going through it another playthrough, I'm having a little bit more fun. I'm taking my time to make sure I get all the items. Like this time around, I got all the jewels so I can unlock, the extra hit pouch, the hand grenade, and all that stuff from the train station, things like that. Really taking my time and making sure I get all the items. I'm having a great time playing it, though. I mean, it's a fun game. It's just not quite what I was hoping for when it was originally announced.
Yeah, I get that. There's a lot of substance to it for what little bit it is, even though it is missing a lot. But I think you'd enjoy, the little Easter egg hunts and the item hunts you're doing now. It's the greatest part of that remake.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to finish the playthrough, like I said, and probably do a couple more after this because it's a little bit easier to run through this game than a lot of the other Resident Evil ones, at least for me anyways. But I don't know. There's just something about that classic feel you get from like Code Veronica X that I enjoy a lot more than the action-packed focus of 3 and 2 remakes.
Plus, the great atmosphere you get with X it's unique to X.
Yeah, and you have Steve. Okay. Other than that, I have a fun, quick story that actually just happened last night. I thought you guys and the listeners might actually enjoy hearing.
Proceed.
So last night, while hanging out by myself and playing the aforementioned video games, I was consuming some delicious alcoholic beverages. And Keyauni, before you segue into it, no, it was not the one that I am now shunning because they have not responded. It was Goose Island.
You have been shunned.
Yes, you have been shunned. Other beer company that shall not be named.
Shun.
But I found like the right amount of this adult beverage that I would need to develop a dance while listening to a song by Second Generation Wu. If you're not familiar with that, that is the rap supergroup from the Children of the Wu-Tang Clan.
For those
That's a thing?
They are so good. They are so fucking good. I love all of their music. Case in point, when I was listening to Heaven on Earth, like I said, I actually developed a whole dance to do while drunk.
I feel like, I know you hate TikTok, but this would be magnificent content, Cody. I feel like you're missing an entire audience.
So I listened to the song on loop like 3 or 4 times and developed this dance, right? And this was probably like, mind you, I live on the second floor of an apartment building, and this was probably like 11 p.m. into 12 a.m. And it involves a lot of jumping around, and like, I gotta be honest with you, I don't recall very much because, well, like I said, the amount of alcohol that it took me to develop this dance was ungodly. But after doing it so many times, I started doing it again once Taylor got home from work.
Nice.
To which she immediately was, justifiably concerned for my health and safety. But I had to, like, emphasize to her, like, no, I've done this, like, 3 or 4 times already tonight before you got here. It's fine. This has been rehearsed. I know what I'm doing.
I got this. I got the counts down. I got the steps. The neighbors hate us now. It's all on point.
Yeah, the downstairs neighbors, they didn't hate us for that fucking leak we just had a few days ago. This is probably gonna do it.
So I think you should take up Keyauni's advice and do a TikTok, because that would be great to watch.
Yes, I feel like there's an entire audience waiting just for you, Cody.
Well, look, Keyauni, if you decide to come and visit and want to make a video at some point, we now know the amount of alcohol it'll take for me to do this for you.
I'm in. I'm in.
I heard her buy the ticket just now, actually.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot it does that little bing every time you purchase a plane ticket.
It does.
Yeah, I haven't really been doing much else besides, developing my awesome drunken dance moves and playing Resident Evil, so without further ado, I think it's about time for that sweet, sweet commercial break.
Hey you, sitting right there sipping your low-carb sissy beer. You gonna need to toss that shit right over your shoulder and lean on closer, because I got an offer for you. Come on down to the Mobile BattleBot universe today to bear witness to some of the most brutal robotic combat ever seen. One that leans its accomplishments to the great and glorious Southern Engineer. Come put that Master's in Engineering degree to good use by throwing that shit to the side and show the world how innovative Southern-made ingenuity can save us all from a life of menial tasks, switching from one YouTube video to the next, perhaps a little Pornhub in between. Looking at you, Clyde.
My bad.
Bring your youngin' in and get 2 free cans of Primo WD-40. But this ain't just a take-home treat. Toss them sons of bitches in the arena and watch the robots glide gracefully while throwing death-bringing chunks of steel and sparks everywhere. What could go wrong? So come on down to the Mobile BattleBot universe today, located at Jimmy's Barn down the road from the old McColden farm. You know, down by where we used to pick the honeysuckles. Come on down today. We'll be waiting on you.
And we're back! As discussed before, we are going to be talking about the T-1000 and Terminator 2. All right, before we get into it, how many times have you guys actually seen this movie before this playthrough or recently?
Today.
All right, so one time for Keyauni.
I've seen it a few times as a kid because my dad was really into Terminator. But as far as the most recent sit down and comprehensible watch, maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, that's actually not too bad. I feel like when I was younger, like my middle school years, they used to play Terminator 2 and 3 almost exclusively on Spike TV for a while, so I watched it repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I got older, I kind of got a little more into the Terminator franchise, so I've checked this one out probably the second most.
That's fair. I think isn't it the most popular one, to my understanding?
Oh yeah, people love sucking this fucking metallic goo guy's dick. They love this Terminator movie.
I will say this on my research session today, so that I could be actually comprehensible this time around in a Terminator discussion. I fell in love with the T-1000.
I mean, as far as actual Terminators go, like if you run through the list, he might be the actual coolest of all of them, but he's not my favorite still.
Oh yeah.
Keyauni, so it was your first time watching it. I mean, kind of surprised by that. I guess it tends to be a little bit more of a dude-leaning film, little macho, over-the-top stuff. How'd you like it?
I liked it. There was a lot of there's definitely a lot of shit I laughed at, but I feel like it's only because like it's 2020. So I was just giggling at certain things where I'm like, oh, that was tacky. But I'm sure like back then it was like, oh, this is the shit.
Oh man, look at that! Oh shit! Look at him on a motorcycle.
There's probably also a couple dudes kind of like us, like that's tacky as shit. And this is 1991. It's still tacky.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, all the action is fucking awesome, but it is like very macho Schwarzenegger-esque action. It's what you expect when you pick up a Schwarzenegger movie.
Which I really don't mind, like the macho shit for real. Like I like action-y type movies, so I feel like, I mean, it definitely held my attention. I laughed a lot, and I know it's not meant to be funny, but I laughed a lot.
Did you enjoy his award-winning smile in that scene?
His award-winning smile.
Uh-huh.
When he was learning to smile, remember at
the
food place? I mean, to be fair, that is some excellent like facial acting on Schwarzenegger's part, though.
10 out of 10 would bang.
10 out of 10 would bang.
I mean, it's Schwarzenegger. Like, if he wants to bang, what are you gonna do? Say no? I mean,
you don't get a choice because he's big. Is that what we're doing? Because that's scary, man.
That's kind of rapey.
No,
guys.
I mean, I'm just saying that if it's Schwarzenegger, it's like, I guess.
I guess, sir. All right.
You could do much worse.
I suppose.
Right? Like, I don't know. I don't normally have any desire to fuck a dude, but if it's gotta be anyone, at least I'll have a story.
Bro?
No, I have not. All right, so the T-1000, just liquid metal. He can kind of form his hand into blades and things of that nature. And there's that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's that fun scene where he shows up to the foster parents' house just as a cop, remember?
Yes.
And he gets his way inside there somehow and ends up like impersonating the foster mother without the foster dad realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he acts out the normal routine of the foster mother and starts like chopping vegetables and cooking dinner while just casually waiting for John to come home.
Yes.
Is that not a little weird to anybody else that he went through the motions of pretending to be the mother, answering the phone, like waited, and then just because the dog wouldn't stop barking and the guy was being loud, decided then to kill them while on the phone with John? I mean, it seems a little weird.
No, because he had to like kind of stake out, he had to play the role.
Mm-hmm.
He had to stake out his situation because like but I guess he could have just come in and killed dude off fucking jump and been like, oh.
Clearly didn't need him.
But I think maybe he wanted to try and trick him into coming home. That way he wouldn't have to deal with the Terminator overall, like, fucking Schwarzenegger overall.
I agree with that. And and just to add to what she said, this dude, he's the motherfucking Daniel Day-Lewis of Terminators right here. He's delving into the skin of his foster parents, right? And every man has their pushing point, so maybe he just snapped when he just decided to kill them on the phone, but
He's like, this motherfucker.
All right, I'll give you guys that one. I mean, he is like the perfect stealth unit. He can change his appearance to look like anybody he wants to. And
Yes. That's a win for me and Keyauni, right?
yeah, I'm trying to think of something here to debunk that. You're right. He probably just did it waiting for John to come home.
Yeah,
and trying to convince him otherwise.
The smoothest route to his goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotcha.
She's a genius.
I also think that the floor thing that he did while they were in the mental institution that John's badass mother was in, like the floor thing where he like comes up out of the floor, like I really liked that. I thought that was cool.
Wasn't it though?
Yeah, I thought it was probably the weirdest way he used his ability to shapeshift, honestly, but I wasn't opposed to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's because it was different than because every other thing was just a person or fucking knives, but the floor, like I wasn't expecting him to come up out of the floor like that. And I was just like, oh, well, look at you multifaceted motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. It might have just been a VFX flex, the VFX team just flexing like, oh, look at our great effects.
Yeah.
Because I'd do some shit like that.
Let me flop my dick out on the table real quick.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the producers are like, what do you mean you're blowing it up from 75 million to 88 million? We don't have that kind of fucking money. For a floor shot? What kind of floor shot?
You listen here. This is my moment, okay?
I've been working day and night. I live strictly off of caffeine and granola. I am making this fucking floor shot.
God damn it.
I mean, I'm compelled to let the guy do it, and I'm not even a producer.
So, I mean, other than the T-1000, you have T-800 coming back, Schwarzenegger. This time, as the, not protagonist necessarily, but the protector of the protagonist, John and Sarah Connor. Which is different than his role in the first film as the person trying to kill Sarah. Still my favorite version of the Terminators, personally. A little more bulky, a little slower, but it's just a lot more fun than the fanciful liquid metal, I suppose. I don't know, that's just my opinion anyways. How do you guys feel about it?
I just felt like the liquid metal, like I was wondering the whole time, I'm like, how are they gonna do that? Like, how are they gonna end that? How are they gonna, like, I just felt like that was such a huge leap from what he was originally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like that was like leaps and bounds above. Like, I could see like a couple advancements, but like that's just like a whole other fucking creature.
The Skynet AI is just sitting around like, how do we top ourselves from the unstoppable super soldier that we had last time? Why don't we just make someone liquid?
It's like they
jumped... Is it liquid? Or is it nanotech?
Well, I mean, I guess it would technically be nanotech.
Is it? I thought it was nanotech.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's essentially nanotech, but it looks like liquid actually, like on screen. So that's just kind of what I've been referring to it as.
I just feel
I mean, it does change the game for me because little bitty robots.
The little robots.
Crossover I want to see now that we're talking about nanobots. I want to see the T-1000 with Jason Voorhees, because Jason X was mostly nanobot technology, but nothing like this.
Oh, no.
Just combine the powers of the T-1000 with Jason Voorhees, and you at the very least have a comic book that'll sell very well.
Or a really raunchy sex tape.
That falls under the parody clause, CJay, if you break out the camera.
I don't think my VFX is there yet to make nano jizz, but once I can make nano jizz, dude, I'll let you know.
Oh, don't worry. All you need to do is a little bit of color grading. I'll come up with the rest.
I've got you. Splooge.
Don't worry about the nano part, all right?
Don't worry about the nano. You worry about the nano part. I'll worry about the jizz part.
I
got you covered. Don't worry.
I started feeling personally attacked as a man because it sounded like you were talking about a penis size for a moment. And I was like, excuse me, it's cold in here.
It's cold in this different recording area.
Yeah.
No. Freezing, damn it.
You fucking know. My apologies.
No, that's fine. So the T-1000, fan favorite Terminator, at least as far as I can tell. I mean, Keyauni, you seem to really like him.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I liked it.
Well, I mean, he can make a sword out of his arm, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, it's pretty cool that he can make like bladed weapons just out of his own hands and body parts. I kind of feel like they could have done a little bit more with that, but
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it was definitely a lot more creative. Okay.
I
Sorry.
got. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keyauni.
I was about to say, I just feel like a liquid robot, period, is fucking terrifying. Because as I said before, like, how the fuck do you destroy that? Like, it keeps coming back together, and there's no, you know what I'm saying? So, like, just that in and of itself, I feel like would be fucking more terrifying to me than just machinery.
Well, they found the answer. Spoiler alert to those listening. They did find the answer to that, and the answer was extreme temperature shifts.
Yeah, I thought the liquid
agree.
nitrogen thing was really cool. Like, I liked that.
Oh yeah, that was
concept.
an awesome moment.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good scene.
I just think that, like, in the reality where this thing can take off little bits of itself, though, it could have, like, shot out metal spikes or something, giving itself a little more, like, projectiles.
Yeah.
It seemed like that could have been a possibility.
I agree.
So, I also noticed with him, he also has the ability not just, duplicate organic flesh. He, like, creates, like, a helmet, for example, when he clones the helicopter pilot. He can
he's like the ultimate stealth unit.
Whatever the fuck he needs. I think that's interesting, though, to think about. As far as Arsenal goes, if in the fight in this movie.
When he killed the cop in the beginning, though, was the cop naked after he killed him? Like, you know how Terminator stole dude's clothes, okay? Because he pops up naked.
Right.
Dude popped up naked, too. And so when he killed the cop, for some reason, I don't know if maybe I just wasn't paying that much attention, but I feel like the cop was naked as well. So if he could do that and he could shift like that, why the fuck did he steal his clothes in the beginning? Or what did he have clothes on and I just assumed?
You know what? You actually bring up a good point, because when you teleport back, you can't have anything on you except, like, just your flesh, bare bones, no weapons. But since that Terminator doesn't need clothes, why did it come back naked to begin with?
I don't know.
Why not?
Questions that need answered.
Okay, wait. I think I figured it out. So he came back naked because he didn't know what he needed to look like until he killed the cop. I don't know why the cop was naked, but I feel like maybe that's where he got the idea of his disguise.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the cop was naked. I feel like I just assumed he was because dude now had on clothes, and that's what, the other Terminator had to steal
Keyauni?
clothes. So, I don't know, sorry.
Let me explain to you how continuity works, okay, on this podcast. If you said the cop woke up naked, then until I watch that movie again, that cop woke up naked.
Okay.
And you will not tell me otherwise.
Okay, all right.
It is official lore in the Terminator universe. I have that authority.
It's official. Speaking of, speaking of cops, like, how smooth John's friend was with that cop, and they were supposed to be, like, 13 when the cop was like, do you know this kid? And his friend's like, nah, I don't know that kid, I've never seen him. I'm like, I would have never been that smooth at fucking 13. I don't care how much of a little badass I thought I was. Like, I would have never been, like, I would have been like,
I don't know where he is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. That's how my life would have been. That's how it would have went.
By the way, I know this might sound kind of shitty, because I know that John Connor as a kid did go through quite a bit, growing up and everything through the system, but how big of a dick was he to his foster parents?
God!
For no reason!
Bro, that is one of the notes I made. I was like, I would have whooped John's little ass. Like, that little cocky motherfucker. He's like, they're dicks. They're dicks. And I'm like, they asked you to clean your room, you little fuck. Like, what the fuck is that?
He hasn't cleaned his room in a month.
What? What? I'm so glad.
It's like one of those things. Like, as a kid, you're like, oh yeah, fuck those guys, man, it's ridiculous. But, like, watching as an adult, you're like, well, of course, you little shit. Just, it's unreasonable you even have a motorcycle to begin with.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Like, if I would have, like, when he fucking, like, had his little friend over and she's, like, trying to talk to him and he's just, like, revving the engine to ignore her, like, I would have snatched your little ass up. Like, there would have been a whole, I would have been a throw down in that garage.
This is the 90s and you're a foster child. Nobody cares about you right
Yeah,
now.
like how? What? There weren't rules then. Like she could have beat you with a goddamn wire hanger. Okay.
He thought he was Oliver
And-
Twist or something. He was like, little Timmy, no.
And then immediately send him back, like, all right, well, he fucked up. He mouthed off to me, so I don't want him.
I don't want him anymore. Take him.
I hit him with a rod.
Meanwhile, he's like, yeah, I just know how to steal hundreds of dollars out of ATMs. Don't mind me.
Like,
Right?
if they would have known in the contract terms, if it said this little shit might come with 2 killer robots, would you?
They fucking had buyer's remorse before the robots showed up.
Kids already
Disclaimer.
fucking acting up. I wish the fucking robots would show up already.
Disclaimer.
The dad's walking around like, oh god, I can't wait for the fucking day when all this is over.
Yeah. Then the phone rings.
Oh, I thought we were gonna tell that kid to get rid of that damn dog.
And your last
Which, by the way, fun Easter egg about that scene when she's talking. Well, when the T-1000 is talking on the phone with, I think, Schwarzenegger, asking about the dog.
Yeah.
She says Wolfie's Just Fine, which, if you're not familiar with, is an actually really sweet band. It's Wolfie's Just Fine. They have a song called New Beginning, which is like about their first time watching Friday the 13th Part 5. They have a song that's vaguely reminiscent of that scene. It's pretty cool stuff. I actually think like it's a really relaxed vibe too. You might like it specifically, Keyauni.
I will check it out. You said Wolfie's Just Fine.
Yes,
That's
Wolfie's
a pretty cool
Just
fucking
Fine.
That's a pretty cool name though. Like somebody watched this as a child and was like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna name my band.
And you know what? I'm gonna make a song about the first time I saw tits in Friday the 13th Part 5.
And you know,
he did.
he stuck to his dream.
Goals.
And that man is Michael Moore. No, I don't know who the fuck it is.
I was gonna say, goddamn.
I have no idea who the singer is.
What happened?
All right, do we have any closing thoughts on the Terminator T-1000? Any more robots in the movies?
I don't. Go ahead, CJay.
Sorry. I will say that the T-1000, obviously, I feel like he's worth all the praise he's gotten. I should be hit because I cannot remember the actor's name right now. He did an amazing job portraying him. And he was so well known that he had this unexplained, you didn't have to be explained, cameo in Wayne's World when Wayne gets pulled over by him. And he just looks into the camera and screams, "Whoa!" That's pop culture in and of itself, right there. How instant
Robert
that movie
Patrick.
ingrained itself. Thank you, Robert Patrick. He clearly did amazing. So I feel like the T-1000, great robot. Nanotech robots, great robots, and Arnold's smile made me cream.
Made me cream.
That's my
10 out of 10 would touch myself to that still again.
yes.
Okay, I think my last little comment, okay, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the T-1000, although it was dope, I liked it, all that jazz. When Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he got dropped into that pit of fucking boiling steel magma, anyway, that was like the most dramatic fucking exit ever. Like, and then he's got his arm up in the air and he like gives him a thumbs up as he's fucking melting alive.
Mhm.
Like, I laughed so hard. So hard. Like, almost tears.
It's kind of hard to look back now and wonder if they were like, oh, this is going to be a really serious, heartfelt moment, or if they like knew that it was going to be a little tongue-in-cheek, fun, like cheesy, dramatic.
I feel like that was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie, just because I'm like, this is so cheesy. I love it. I'll see you later, bro. Thumbs up. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I mean, I know I talked a lot of shit about the T-1000, but that's mostly because I felt like someone had to be a little contrarian. He's definitely one of the cooler Terminators, especially as you go later on in the series. But, I mean, I still think the T-800 is going to remain my favorite as I continue this rewatch.
No, he'll definitely grow on you, in my opinion. He just has that effect.
He'll definitely grow on you.
Mm-hmm. You get it?
Considering he can shapeshift, I would
Oh,
imagine he would.
Came full
I wonder what
circle.
else he can grow.
I bet a lot of things.
Wonder what else he can shapeshift. You know what I mean? You know?
Hello.
Just that confidence.
Hello, Pappy.
All right, guys, and as per usual at the end of the show, do you want to tell people where they can find you, Keyauni?
Yes, you can find me at Abundant Studio on Instagram and on TikTok and Facebook.
CJay?
Well, you can always find me goofing off with you. We need to get Keyauni over here and kidnap her and make her come in on it. On Who Asked for This, which premieres bi-weekly every Thursday. I think we are due for one next Thursday, the 26th. So, now that I got that arranged, you can find me on Who Asked for This with Cody, or you might hear me dabble in and out. I don't know on this if I can ever think of anything to contribute. But yeah, just until then, keep an eye on Who Asked for This. We might have a little sneak peek for season 2 by the time episode 5 drops. So just stick around that on Facebook and YouTube.
And as usual, you can find me on Twitter at Cody Has Coffee and Robots Don't Age. Also, be sure to check us out at Redlands Productions on Facebook. The website will be up shortly. As Keyauni mentioned earlier in the episode, she's putting it together for us. So everyone just pause for a moment of applause. Shit, crowd goes wild. Oh my god.
Kids all on me.
Cars are being flipped. Oh shit.
Oh shit! Oh fuck!
Fracking.
Speaking of websites, I forgot to throw mine at everybody.
Ooh.
It's abundancestudio.com. Go figure. And if anyone would like their own personal cosmic being painting or want a print of any of my current shit, you should check it the fuck out.
You should do it. They're fucking awesome.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, until next time, guys, we will see. Or, fuck, no, that's not true. We won't see you for shit. Until next time, guys. Bye.
Later, motherfuckers.
Bye.